Hello, welcome to a Divi Engine tutorial. This is Pete. This video is just a quick video to show you Divi Form Builder. We're going to be creating a better video documentation in the near future. So this is just a video because the plugin has just been released. So I'm just going to run through some of the settings. So when you create a new page and you want to do a Divi form, basically go to the Divi Builder and add a new module and click Form. We have two modules. One is Edit Post button and one is Form. Edit Post button is when you want to edit a post that you have created. So just leave that for now. Just do Form. So click on Form. Here you present with quite a few different features, settings. First one in the main options is a form title. So go ahead and add a form title there. Form ID. So you can add a unique form ID, which is important for different settings that you might need in the future. Form type. So here we go. So we have a contact form, which is like the normal Divi contact form, but we have other extra stuff that Divi does not. Create a post form. So this is when you want these posts on the left hand side. Create a page form. User registration, login form, and custom form for advanced users only. So the custom form is if you can develop yourself, you can use this to create really unique, interesting forms that plug into different APIs and such like that. So create a post form. Basically, while I'll start here, if I open up a new tab, I want to activate advanced custom fields and activate Divi machine. So you'll see with Divi machine let me just go over. So you see with Divi machine I've created a custom post called property. So Divi machine, if you don't know, is our other plugin. Let me just actually save this. Is our other plugin which allows you to create custom posts and then like properties, cars, etc., and then use advanced custom fields to add all the data that you need anyway. So here, when you have a custom post like properties, it then creates another one where you can add a property. So if you want a form to post properties from the front end, you can then choose that one. Contact form is one I want to go for. Change the submit button text. Email option. So if you want to email to admin, say yes. If you want to send a copy to the sender, say yes. Form title. So from name. So you can say from name. So from email. So you can change the email if you want. So you can actually I want it to be from a custom email. Email title and template. It's much like the Divi one. So let's say you have a field called name, you can add that in there with the 2% signs, just like Divi. Notices. So when you have a success, you can have it before the title, and you can have this text or Divi layout. So the way Divi layout works is if you create a layout in the Divi library, you can then display this instead of just plain text, which is quite nice. And then failed message as well. Redirect, so you can also have it to redirect to another URL after so you can have like a thank you page, or you can then redirect to another if it's failed. Extra, you can save to entries to the database. You can enable Bloom subscription. So if you have Bloom set up on your website, you can enable this, and then what it'll do is then drop down and give you some options to choose the mailing list. So like sign up to MailChimp or something like that. Enable select to for your select options. So if you want select to, which is a different way of showing select options where they can actually search for it in the select to, enable that. Spam protection, if you want Google reCAPTCHA, enable it. Just to point out, you have to have the Google API and Divi theme options. Once you have the Google API and Divi theme options, this will work. Or just add a simple capture field, which is like Divi, which is a maths. Okay, so that's kind of the basis. There is some other settings here for design, but I'm not going to go into that too much. Okay, so still with me. So right now we're just going to build a contact form. So what I'll do is I'll just add a new field title, so name, for example. The ID, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to keep it as name. First we're going to hit is type. So we have input field, email field. Currently with version 1, this is what we got. Email field, password field, text area, checkboxes, radio buttons, image upload, select drop down, file upload field, date field, date and time field. So this is going to be a text field only. Here we can have, you can enable the visual builder if you want. I'll just have them both. You can set a minimum length and a max length. Allowed symbols, so you can have letters, numbers, and only alphanumeric only, so A to Z and 0 to 9. So for example, if you have a create a property form and you want to have like how many bedrooms does the house have, you can set it to only numbers, so they can only choose number. But I'm going to have it as all for now. Make it required or not. Layout options, we have different ones. You have half, third, quarter, etc., etc. And then you can see when I add another one, I'm trying to duplicate that, you'll see it come in there nicely. So the field label position, so you can see the name is currently the placeholder. You can have it on top, you can have it on the top, left, or right. Sorry, I have a little bug with the visual builder right at present. You can change the placeholder text, so placeholder. Mapping options, we'll get to that in a minute. Conditional logic is the way that Divi works, so it's exactly the same as the Divi conditional logic. And then in the design we have some different settings like changing the background field. Text, that's a placeholder color, so that's not text color. You can see that's the text color. Yeah, so you can do all sorts here. You can change all the different borders and such, and then you know what you can do. You can do some great things with that. So the only thing to point out is, so that's a name field, that's an input field. Email, so you can then also choose, is this receipt's email address? So what that means is when we send an email copy to the sender, it will send it to this one. Password field, text area, you can also use a WYSIWYG editor if they want. Checkboxes, so here you can add as many checkboxes as you want. You just show a visual of what it might look like, but not the exact ones you add. Excuse me. Ignore auto detect for map field at the moment. I'll get to that. Radio is much the same. Image upload. So here we can then go to layout options. Upload your fields. You can change the text. You can change the so this is the preview width. Once you upload the image, you can change the preview width, distance vertically and horizontally as well. You can show upload icon if you want. We've created some different ones. Camera. Let's just change these colors so you can get a better idea. Upload circle. What? That was a bad color to pick. So a document, for example. So we basically have a document, a camera, upload circle for the moment. We're going to be adding some more, or you can upload your own custom one. Just leave this document for now. Left align it, or you can then right align it. You can also move it. move the icon, change all these different settings. You can have a different animation for when you hover over it. So when you drag and drop an image over the upload field, it'll give you a last little vibrate, or it'll give you a wobble effect. When you hover over it as well, you can change the background color, so you can do some interesting things there. I think if you go over here and you go border, I seem to remember this will. Anyway, select drop down is much the same. You can add the different options. You can order the text as well. Just wait for that. I'll explain that now. File upload is the same as the image upload. Dates, date field. Point out over here. If you go to daytime appearance, you can change the font colors, the active font colors, the active font background. So there's loads of settings here to change the calendar that appears when you click on it. I think in the near future we'll give you a little display of the calendar as well in the Visual Builder. Same as daytime field. So that's all our fields that we use currently. We're going to obviously add more as you need and as we improve the plugin. Okay, so that is simple contact form. Now we get into the more interesting, more complex situations. So let's create a property form, for example, and let's say this is the property name. So this is going to be an input field because we want it to just be an input field, and this is where I'm just going to put this on the top because I think that'll make more sense. Okay, so how do we make it so that the system knows that this is the property title? At the moment, it's just literally an input. So this is where we have a thing called mapping. So you need to map, i.e., you need to link that field to something in the database. So, for example, when we go to properties and I click add new property, this over here, add title, I need to link this with this because it doesn't know automatically. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is we're in the mapping options we have this thing called field mapping type. So here you can go post default field, taxonomy field, page taxonomy field, property taxonomy, so that would be, or advanced custom field if you have that installed. Custom field if you want to just do custom field. Advanced custom field is pretty much the same as a custom field, but yeah, it's just easier if you use an advanced custom fields. A user field or user meta field or just another custom field. So there's quite a lot of things you can choose from. So I would say right now we want it to be the post name. So you have the default post default field. Okay, so these are all the default fields, and then here you select post title. Okay, so the other ones are post content, which would be this area over here. Post excerpt, I don't even know how to pronounce it right. That'd be over here. Post status, post slug, featured image. So slug would be the slug of the the URL. Status would be this draft, pending review, or active. Featured image over there. Parent post if you want to do a parent one, and post type. So you can also change the post type, but right now we just want it to be post title. So you can see now when somebody submits this form, it'll create a new property with the title that they give. So I mean, let me just literally just show you a very basic example. And you'll probably see, so testing, probably see a thank you message will be sent out shortly. Obviously you can change this, so don't worry about that. So we had one called testing, and there it is over there, testing. By default we just set it to draft. You can change this in here, so you can make it so it actually goes to pending, confirmed, completed, published. So if you want just to publish, we set it to draft by default. I think that's better, safer for, you know, safety reasons, because if you have issue with spam, you can get loads of posts just created on your website. Okay, so property name. The other one to show is so let's say, for example, we want to have this price over here. This is a number, advanced custom fields number. Then we can have its input, and we can have it as numbers only. Okay, so here we go. So the ones ready to go to talk about is the checkbox, radio, and select. These options are quite interesting. So checkbox. Let's say for advanced custom fields, we have all these, 1, 0 for that bathroom, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's relatively easy for me to create like this. I can make sure it's the same, and I can go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you have hundreds of different things, or if you maybe there might be a user setup or something like that, but it can just be super and complex having to create them all. We have this thing called auto detect for mapping field. So if you enable that, it will then detect the mapping field, and it will automatically generate the options to select. Okay, so let's go to the mapping options, and we want to map this example to the bathrooms, right? So the mapping field type is not the post default field. We are looking for advanced custom field. Advanced custom field mapping, we're going to choose bathrooms. Let's just save this and have a little look. Yeah, so you can see it's got 0 to 5, based on 0 to 5. Okay, so that's the field mapping, and when you create a property form. And the same would be for user registration, for example. So if you click user registration, here you can say, okay, actually I want this to be an input field, or an email field, password field, whatever. So password field, let's say password field. Mapping options, we're going to go to user meta field, or user field. And here we're going to go to username, first name, so I'm looking for password. Nice thing about this is you can add another value, and then here you can have this as a password confirm. So then we will double check and make sure these passwords match. So so the other mapping options you can have is username, first name, last name. So the user role, which is quite important. So there's different things you can have. So when you go to the user registration form, okay, so here we go. There's a couple of things to point out. Is the user edit form. So if you have the ability to show this form on an account page, you can have it so it's a user edit form. So if you enable this, when they submit it, it'll then edit the user's information. So enable that if it's on the account pages. You can also make it so you can set the default user role if this is not a user edit form, if it is a user's submission. So yeah, so that's another one. Login form, much the same. You can just have the logins. Yes, that's it really. The post and the page are much the same as the property, like I showed you. So notices. Okay, so yeah, the one thing to point out with the notices is if you want to have a thank you page or a failed form. So here I've got a failed form page. So when the form fails, I want to show this layout above the form. So instead of this message, it will show like what I have in the Divi Builder. And in here, I have I think I just did a blank one. But if you add %% message %%, we will then display the failed message on there for the user to see and see what the error is. So in the Divi library, add this that % message %%, and we'll display the error message. I'm just going through quickly just to make sure. So you have simple capture on there. Yeah, so that's it really. That's kind of the basis of it. This is version 1 that you've seen right now. Obviously, as time goes by, you can we're going to add more and more features. So yeah, so you can see over here. So this is just like one of the forms we created. So here's the date, for example, and you can change all the different colors over here. Yeah, so everything is great, and it's only going to get better as it goes along. So I do hope you enjoy it. We will be redoing this video documentation better than what I've done it. I'm not the best at video documentation. Robey is much better than I am, and so he'll be taking a look at this very soon to improve it and make it better, so that you can understand. We also have written documentation, and again that'll be improving as time goes on. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and any questions, get in touch with support@diviengine.com. We're here to help. And any issues or feature requests, get in touch as well. We have a set of feature requests, like we're going to be adding a multi-step form and things like that. But just bear with us while we just get things going. Get in first gear, then second gear, third, and finally we'll be in fifth gear. So we'll get there soon. Right now we're in first gear. We're just setting off. So join with us on this journey, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. Have a great day, and see you all soon.